Welcome back to the Cash Kicks channel for expert sports analysis, the best team picks, total picks, and in-depth breakdowns based on previous performances. Stay ahead of the game with our winning insights. And for even more exclusive parlay picks, check out Channel in membership. Atlanta Hawks versus Charlotte Hornets. The 26-29 Atlanta Hawks walk into Charlotte to face the 25-29 Hornets in a game that carries real weight in the Southeast Division race. Atlanta sits 9th in the Eastern Conference, Charlotte 10th. One game separates them in the standings, and the season series already leans Charlotte's way, 2-1. The numbers give the Hornets a slight edge at home, just under a 57% lean. And that margin reflects how tight this matchup truly is. This isn't just another February contest. It's positioning, it's leverage, it's separation. Atlanta averages 117.5 points per game to Charlotte's 115.8, playing with slightly more pace and offensive rhythm. The Hawks shoot 47% from the field, edge the Hornets in assists 30.6 to 26.5, and generate more steals at 9.3 per game. Charlotte counters on the glass, pulling down 45.9 rebounds per night compared to Atlanta's 42.3. And they allow fewer points, 113.9 per game versus Atlanta's 118.8. Efficiency tells the story. The Hawks create more ball movement and disruption. The Hornets emphasize control and rebounding balance. Jalen Johnson drives Atlanta's engine. 23.4 points, 10.6 rebounds, 8.2 assists on 50.2% shooting and 77.7% from the line. He flirts with a triple-double every night and dictates tempo. Nickeil Alexander-Walker adds 20.3 points while shooting 37.6% from 3 and 88.2% at the stripe. Dyson Daniels contributes 1.9 steals per game, giving Atlanta its perimeter bite, while Onyeka Okongwu anchors inside with 1.0 blocks. Charlotte leans on Brandon Miller's 20.4 points per game, though he's shooting 42.6% from the floor. LaMelo Ball orchestrates at 7.4 assists per night, scoring 19.2 with 40.2% overall shooting and 36.2% from 3. Moussa Diabate controls the glass at 8.6 rebounds per game, and Ryan Kalkbrenner protects the rim with 1.5 blocks. The Hornets' offensive identity flows through Ball's playmaking and Miller's scoring versatility, but their defensive stability begins with rebounding and interior length. The defining theme is clear: Atlanta's playmaking and tempo versus Charlotte's rebounding control and half-court balance. Recent form adds intrigue. The Hawks have dropped 3 of their last 5, including losses to Minnesota and Indiana, though they did beat Charlotte 126-119 during that stretch. Defensive consistency has wavered. 129 and 138 points allowed in 2 recent losses, and late-game execution has been uneven. Charlotte, meanwhile, has won 3 of its last 5. After losses to Detroit and Atlanta, they steadied with wins over Houston, New Orleans, and San Antonio, holding 2 of those opponents under 100. Their defense has tightened, and their half-court execution looks cleaner. The spotlight falls squarely on Johnson and Miller. Johnson plays with controlled aggression, attacking downhill, facilitating from the elbows, finishing through contact. His efficiency north of 50% gives Atlanta reliability. Miller is more rhythm-based, capable of heating up quickly from deep, 36.6% from 3, but more volatile night to night. If Johnson commands the game, Atlanta flows. If Miller finds early confidence and Ball distributes cleanly, Charlotte's offense opens up. Tactically, Atlanta will look to speed this game up and turn it into an up-tempo contest. Their strong assist rate and aggressive steal numbers point to transition offense as a major source of scoring, especially when they can force mistakes and run the floor. Charlotte, meanwhile, must control the glass and decisively win the rebounding margin while limiting live ball turnovers if they want to keep the pace within their comfort zone. The Hornets' rim protection and size advantage on the boards could help neutralize Atlanta's dribble penetration and interior attacks, but the Hawks' relentless perimeter pressure remains a concern, as it could further expose Charlotte's season-long issue of committing 15.0 turnovers per game and swing momentum quickly. Bench depth and late-game composure loom large. Atlanta's scoring balance gives them multiple options in crunch time, but Charlotte's home floor and tighter recent defense tilt the emotional edge. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is Charlotte Hornets winner. Charlotte's rebounding control and recent defensive rhythm give them the closing edge in a tight fourth quarter. Expect pace early, adjustments late, and a final stretch decided by execution, with the Hornets protecting home court and tightening the Southeast race even further. My second pick for this match is total over 229.5. Chicago Bulls versus Boston Celtics. The Chicago Bulls arrive at TD Garden at 24-30, sitting fifth in the Central Division and fighting to stay afloat in the Eastern Conference race. Across the floor stand the Boston Celtics, 34-19, second in the Atlantic, and firmly planted near the top of the conference hierarchy. This isn't just another February matchup. It's urgency versus authority. Boston has already taken 2 of the first 3 meetings, including a 115-101 win and a narrow 111-114 loss in the series. The numbers lean heavily green. An 82.6% projected edge reflects the gap between a contender protecting home court and a team searching for traction. For Chicago, this is about credibility. For Boston, it's about control. Boston averages 115.1 points per game, while surrendering just 108.4. Chicago scores slightly more at 117.0, but gives up 120.6, a defensive margin that has defined its season. Both teams shoot 47% from the field, but Boston's balance shows in the details. 45.4 rebounds, 23.8 assists, 7.6 steals, and 5.2 blocks per night. Chicago counters with 44.9 boards, a stronger 29.3 assists, 7.4 steals, and 5.0 blocks. A more pass-heavy offense, but one that leaks points. Jaylen Brown leads Boston with 29.4 points on 48.4% shooting, supported by Derek White's 17.4 points and 5.5 assists. Neemias Queta anchors the glass with 8.3 rebounds and rim presence. Chicago's offense flows through Josh Giddey, who averages 18.6 points, 8.8 assists, and 8.6 rebounds, flirting nightly with triple-double territory. Nikola Vucevic adds 16.9 points and 9.0 rebounds, while Kobe White contributes 18.6 points with perimeter scoring punch. Boston plays measured, efficient basketball, disciplined half-court sets, controlled pace, defensive containment. Chicago prefers ball movement and rhythm, ranking significantly higher in assists, but struggles to string together defensive stops. The defining theme is clear: Chicago's fluid offense versus Boston's defensive structure and scoring efficiency. Recent form sharpens the contrast. The Bulls have dropped 4 of their last 5. Losses to Brooklyn, 123-115. Denver, 136-120. Toronto, 123-107. And Milwaukee, 131-115, with their lone win coming against Miami. Defense has been the recurring issue, allowing at least 123 points in 4 of those contests. Boston, meanwhile, has won 3 of its last 5. They handled Dallas 110-100, Houston 114-93, and Milwaukee 107-79, though losses to New York and Miami show occasional vulnerability. Still, their defensive ceiling remains high, particularly at home. The centerpiece duel, Jaylen Brown versus Josh Giddey. Brown is an assertive scorer, 29.4 points per game, 35.2% from three, 77.2% at the line, explosive in isolation, and decisive in transition. Giddey is orchestrator first, scorer second, shooting 46.2% from the field with 36.6% from deep and 77.5% at the stripe. Brown attacks. Giddey dissects. One thrives on downhill pressure, the other manipulates tempo and spacing. Tactically, Boston's 108.4 points allowed per game loom large when matched up against a Chicago defense surrendering 120.6 per contest. That gap highlights a clear contrast in discipline and consistency on the defensive end. If the Celtics control the defensive glass and limit Chicago's assist-driven offensive flow, the Bulls' half-court sets can quickly stagnate and become overly reliant on isolation scoring. Chicago, therefore, must win the turnover battle and create extra possessions, ideally generating second-chance points through Vucevic's presence on the interior. Boston's edge in rim protection and defensive rebounding provides a structural advantage that becomes even more pronounced late in games, when execution, physicality, and shot selection typically decide outcomes. Bench depth and defensive reliability tilt toward Boston. Chicago's X factor lies in perimeter shot-making. If White and the supporting cast stretch the floor early, it forces Boston to rotate and opens driving lanes. But if Boston dictates pace and keeps the game in the half-court, the numbers favor the home side. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is Boston Celtics winner. Boston's defensive stability and scoring efficiency separate them in the fourth quarter. Chicago's ball movement will produce stretches of momentum, but over 48 minutes, discipline and balance win out. The Celtics protect home court and reinforce their place near the top of the East. My second pick for this match is total over 221.5, Detroit Pistons versus Toronto Raptors. The Eastern Conference spotlight lands in Toronto, where the 39-13 Detroit Pistons, leaders of the Central Division and owners of the conference's best record, walk into Scotiabank Arena to face the 32-22 Toronto Raptors, fifth in the East and climbing. Detroit carries a .750 win percentage and the confidence of a team that separated itself from the pack. Toronto, 16-12 at home, sees this as a statement opportunity, a chance to measure itself against the conference standard. The numbers lean Detroit's way, with a projected edge hovering around 60-40. But the Raptors have protected their floor and tightened the Atlantic Division race. This isn't just another February game, it's a test of hierarchy. Detroit averages 117.3 points per game, slightly ahead of Toronto's 114.1. The Pistons defend at a higher level, allowing just 109.6 points compared to the Raptors' 112.2. Both teams shoot efficiently, Detroit at 48% from the field, Toronto at 47%. But the Pistons pair that with a rebounding edge, 45.6 to 43.1, and more steals, 10.7 to 8.5. Toronto counters with superior ball movement, averaging 29.5 assists to Detroit's 26.7. From deep, Toronto spaces the floor effectively behind Emmanuel Quickley's 37.8% three-point shooting and R.J. Barrett's 34.0%. Detroit's offense flows through Cade Cunningham, who averages 25.3 points, 9.6 assists, and shoots 45.9% from the field, with 32.1% from three and 81% at the line. Jalen Duren anchors the interior with 10.4 rebounds and a 63.1% field goal rate, while Auser Thompson adds 1.9 steals per game to fuel transition. For Toronto, Brandon Ingram leads with 22.0 points on 47.2% shooting and 36.4% from three. Scotty Barnes contributes across the board, 19.4 points, 8.4 rebounds, 5.6 assists, and protects the rim with 1.6 blocks. Jakob Poeltl provides interior efficiency at 69.3% shooting, reinforcing a half-court structure built on ball movement and length. This game defines itself as structure versus pressure. Toronto's assist-heavy rhythm against Detroit's disruptive defense and rebounding muscle. Detroit enters having won 3 of its last 5, including a 110-104 win over Charlotte and a dominant 130-77 rout of Brooklyn. Even in their loss to Washington, they scored 126 points. Toronto has split its last 5, winning back-to-back games over Indiana and Chicago before a narrow 128-126 loss to Minnesota exposed late-game defensive lapses. The Raptors are scoring 122, 123, 128 in recent outings, but they've allowed 120 or more in 3 of 5. Now it centers on Cunningham versus Ingram, control versus fluid scoring. Cunningham dictates tempo, probes mismatches, and lives in the mid-range and at the foul line. Ingram is a rhythm scorer, comfortable rising over defenders and stretching coverage to the arc. Barnes lurks as the swing piece, capable of filling every column, while Duren and Poeltl battle for paint control. If Cunningham wins the assist-to-turnover margin, Detroit averages 14.4 turnovers per game. The Pistons' offense hums. If Barnes and Quickley speed the game up, Toronto can tilt momentum quickly. Tactically, Detroit will crowd the driving lanes, shrink the floor, and dare Toronto's secondary shooters to consistently knock down open perimeter looks under pressure. The Pistons' rebounding edge should ignite their transition game, creating early offense before the defense gets set, while their plus 2.2 steal margin suggests they can manufacture extra possessions and disrupt rhythm. For Toronto, winning the assist battle convincingly is essential to keep the ball moving and prevent stagnant isolations. They must also protect the rim with discipline, contesting shots without overcommitting or surrendering kick-out threes, particularly against Detroit's physical, hard-nosed front-court presence. Bench production and late-game execution could swing it. Detroit's depth, including Tobias Harris's spacing and Isaiah Stewart's rim protection, stabilizes second units. Toronto leans on Quickley's pace and Barrett's downhill pressure to maintain offensive flow. In the end, Detroit's defensive consistency and rebounding control feel decisive. Toronto's offense will have stretches, but the Pistons' ability to generate stops and second chances should dictate tempo. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is Detroit Pistons winner. Detroit's balance, elite defense paired with a composed offensive engine, proves just enough. My second pick for this match is total over 221.5. Miami Heat versus New Orleans Pelicans. The Miami Heat walk into New Orleans at 28-27, 8th in the Eastern Conference, and locked in a tight Southeast Division race. The Pelicans sit at 15-40, 14th in the West, fighting to build identity and momentum. On paper, Miami holds a narrow edge, just over a 55% lean. But this game carries different urgency for both sides. For the Heat, it's about stabilizing playoff positioning. For the Pelicans, it's about proving their young core can trade blows with a postseason caliber opponent. Miami already owns a win in the season series, a 125-106 decision. Now the scene shifts to the Smoothie King Center, where New Orleans tries to flip the energy and protect home floor. Miami averages 119.5 points per game, fueled by a balanced attack and strong ball movement at 28.6 assists a night. They shoot 46% from the field and 36.2% from 3, knocking down 13.4 triples per game. At the line, they convert 78.7%. Defensively, they allow 117.3 points, generate 9.2 steals, and block 4.1 shots while pulling down 46.7 rebounds per contest. New Orleans scores 114.7 per game and shoots an identical 46% overall, but they hit 36.2% from deep on slightly lower volume. Their free throw rate is stronger at 80%. The Pelicans collect 43.5 rebounds, dish 25 assists, and protect the rim better with 4.7 blocks, though they surrender 120.4 points per night, a vulnerability against high-level offenses. Individually, Norman Powell leads Miami with 23.0 points per game on 47.4% shooting and nearly 40% from three. Bam Adebayo anchors the interior with 9.8 rebounds and defensive versatility, while Davion Mitchell directs traffic with 7.1 assists. Miami's structure is rhythmic: pace, spacing, drive, and kick. For New Orleans, Trey Murphy III headlines at 22.2 points per game, shooting 47.7% overall and 38% from beyond the arc. Zion Williamson adds 21.5 points on an efficient 58% from the field, attacking downhill. Derek Queen contributes 12.2 points and 7.3 rebounds while serving as a rim protector with 0.9 blocks per game. The Pelicans' style leans on athleticism and interior pressure. The defining theme: Miami's disciplined half-court execution against New Orleans' athletic, rim-oriented offense, structure versus burst. Recent form paints contrasting pictures. Miami has dropped 3 of its last 5, including tight losses to Utah and Boston, though they handled Chicago and Atlanta convincingly. Defensive lapses have surfaced in close finishes. New Orleans is 2-3 in its last 5, highlighted by a 120-94 win over Sacramento and a narrow overtime loss to Milwaukee. They've shown flashes of offensive flow, but struggle sustaining stops late. The marquee duel centers on Powell and Murphy. Powell's precision, 47% from the floor, 39.6% from deep, and steady 84% free throw shooting, meets Murphy's length and perimeter confidence. Add Zion's interior force against Adebayo's defensive mobility, and the physicality inside becomes pivotal. If Miami controls paint touches and limits transition, they dictate tempo. If New Orleans wins the glass and forces turnovers, they ignite the building. Tactically, Miami's strong assist rate and disciplined floor spacing will probe a Pelicans defense that has been surrendering more than 120 points per game, often struggling in rotation. Expect a heavy dose of high pick-and-roll action to force switches, paired with weak side shooting to punish help defenders and deliberate late-clock execution to exploit mismatches. New Orleans must respond by pushing the pace, attacking early in the shot clock before Miami's defense is set, and capitalizing on their interior shot-blocking advantage to deter drives. Rebounding margins will be pivotal. Miami owns a slight edge on the glass, and whichever team shows sharper turnover discipline and crisper decision-making could ultimately control momentum and dictate tempo. Bench depth favors Miami's consistency, but the Pelicans' athletic second unit can generate scoring bursts. The X factor, three-point rhythm. If Miami approaches its season average efficiency from deep, the math tilts sharply. Prediction: Miami's structure prevails. The Heat's balance, superior ball movement, and slightly stronger defensive stability give them control in crunch time. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is Miami Heat winner. Efficiency, spacing, and late-game execution decide it, and Miami leaves New Orleans with composure intact and playoff positioning reinforced. My second pick for this match is total over 229.5. Memphis Grizzlies versus Denver Nuggets. The spotlight shifts to Ball Arena, where the 34-20 Denver Nuggets, sitting second in the Northwest Division, defend home floor against the 2032 Memphis Grizzlies, third in the Southwest. Denver is chasing positioning near the top of the Western Conference ladder, while Memphis is fighting to stay afloat in a tightening playoff picture. The numbers tilt heavily toward the home side, a near 60% edge in projected win probability. But this matchup carries more weight than percentages. For Denver, it's about protecting momentum. For Memphis, it's about proving resilience. Denver enters averaging 120.3 points per game, one of the league's most fluid offenses, shooting 49% from the field and 39.5% from three. Memphis counters at 115.3 points per game on 46% shooting and 35.9% from deep. The Grizzlies rebound at a stronger clip, 45.3 boards per game to Denver's 42.6, and generate more steals, 8.2 to 6.9, and blocks, 5.0 to 4.2. Denver, however, is cleaner offensively, averaging 28.0 assists to Memphis's 28.7, while turning the ball over fewer times, 11.9 to 14.8. From the line, Denver converts at 81%, Memphis at 79.1%. The engine of Denver's machine is Nikola Jokic, producing 28.8 points, 12.2 rebounds, and 10.7 assists per night on a blistering 59.3% shooting, 42% from three, and 84.6% from the stripe. Jamal Murray adds 25.8 points with 42.8% three-point shooting, giving Denver a two-man orchestration built on efficiency and spacing. Aaron Gordon chips in 17.7 points, and Peyton Watson anchors the defensive edge with 1.2 blocks per game. Memphis leans on balance. Jaren Jackson Jr. leads at 19.2 points with 1.5 blocks and a team-best defensive presence. G. Morant adds 19.5 points and 8.1 assists, attacking downhill and igniting pace. Santi Aldama contributes 14.0 points and 6.7 rebounds, while the Grizzlies collectively control the glass and pressure-passing lanes. The defining theme is clear: Denver's elite offensive efficiency versus Memphis's disruptive defense and rebounding strength. If the Nuggets dictate tempo and spacing, they stretch the floor beyond Memphis's comfort zone. If the Grizzlies turn this into a possession battle, their length and activity can tilt it. Recent form sharpens the contrast. Memphis has dropped 4 of its last 5. Losses to Golden State, 114 to 113. Portland, 135 to 115. And a tight 122 to 115 defeat at Phoenix, before edging Sacramento 129 to 125. Defensive lapses have inflated opponent scoring, and late-game execution has wavered. Denver, meanwhile, has lost 4 of 5 as well, but each game has been tight. A 119 to 117 setback to Cleveland, a 136 to 120 loss in Chicago, and competitive efforts against Detroit and Oklahoma City. Even in defeat, their offense hums. The margins suggest a team close to recentering rather than unraveling. The centerpiece duel is Jokic versus Jackson. Jokic's near triple-double production, paired with 66% finishing inside the arc, embodies precision and patience. Jackson brings rim protection and mobility, averaging 1.5 blocks and stretching the floor at 35% from three. If Jackson can contest without fouling and Memphis can crowd passing lanes, they have a chance to disrupt Denver's rhythm. But if Jokic establishes deep position and forces double teams, Denver's shooters, Murray at 42.8% from deep, will feast. Tactically, Denver's half-court execution and ball security are decisive advantages. Their 49% shooting and sub-12 turnovers per game highlight disciplined spacing and timing. Memphis must dominate the glass and convert second-chance points to offset that efficiency. Transition defense will be critical. Morant's speed can swing momentum, but live ball turnovers could be fatal against Denver's transition precision. Off the bench, Denver's depth provides steadier scoring, while Memphis's energy units must supply defensive pressure and rebounding bursts. Expect Denver to control tempo early, forcing Memphis into half-court sets. The Grizzlies will fight on the boards and generate steals, but sustaining scoring efficiency against Denver's structure is the taller task. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is Denver Nuggets winner. Denver's shooting efficiency and late-game execution create separation in the fourth quarter, with Jokic orchestrating the decisive stretch. At home, with offensive balance and composure, the Nuggets protect their standing and reassert control in the West. My second pick for this match is total over 232.5.